Hey guys, Gary Berger, owner of Baltimore Martial Arts Academy and GFT Maryland, coming at you for Grapple Fit. And this is always a crowd favorite. Arm bars, okay? In Jiu-Jitsu and in MMA, and arm bars, anytime you take somebody's arm and make it move somewhere where it doesn't want to go. So if that's like their elbow and they bend it like that, if I did something like that, that might not be an arm bar, it might be a mean, nasty arm break, but the idea is, you know, that's gonna hurt, all right? It's like an arm bar. And there's lots and lots and lots and lots of different kinds of arm bars. We're gonna practice one here. So the idea is that we have a top mount, and you always wanna make sure that you have position before submission, control, learn control. Don't be in a hurry to go learn submissions. But you know, this really isn't about technique right now, it's about approximate technique for a strength and conditioning program. So I'm leaning forwards, I've got hip pressure, I've got my base, and what I'm going to do is I imagine this person pushes me up, and if this were a fight and I'm punching him in the face, they're not just going to cover up. A lot of times, especially the untrained person, they're going to try to push you away. And they don't realize that, you know what, by pushing you away like this, you can still hit them and they can't hit you. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We're just going to imagine that they're pushing us away. Now, when they push us away, they're actually giving us a little bit of energy. Obviously, with the dummy, I can't really get that, but what I'm doing is I'm going to place my arms like this. You guys see this like this? I'm going to place my arms like this. And that helps me lift my body off the ground. You guys see that? You got to be able to learn to trust that, almost like a pommel horse. You got to be able to like lift your hips off the ground, and careful not to do something like this. All right? Too much space. You don't want to give them space. So what I do is I practice this in components. I go up, and I go up and over, and then I go and I turn, and then when I'm ready, I'm going to turn, and this leg comes around, and I get my arm. We could talk about some details here, but you know what? We're just going to go for the arm here, just like this. And to make this drill continuous, what I do is I kip up. I kip up my hips, and I rotate on my shoulders, like that. And what that does, that lets me put this leg on his hips and get back into position. All right? So this time, right, I've got this arm here, I've got this arm here, all right, up, over, turn, and then up, over, turn, arm bar, hip up, top mount. And we just do that back and forth. That's a really fun move to do, and you'd be surprised if you do that for a minute and do it with speed and power, how tired you get. Earlier today, I realized that my left side was not really up to my right side, and this is a phenomenon in martial arts. If you're good at your right but not so your left, study your right. Help it teach the left what it's doing. And so I did that today. I noticed that on my right side, when I go to do this position, my foot right here was really coming in here like this. And by the way, this is a position called the S mount. We'll talk about this in other videos. And my left leg wasn't really doing that. It wasn't really coming up like that. And by the way, one of the benefits of doing this class, Grapple Fit, is that if I can watch you and see what you're doing, I can see things like that and help and correct it. All right, so that's really helpful, because you really want to contain that arm and not give him space where he could get his arms underneath that and mess you up. So that's basically the straight arm bar from the top mount. Another word for that arm bar is Juji Katami, and that would be Juji Katami from the top mount.